we're not focused on things like NRR, right, net recurring revenue. And I seem to be quoting a lot of stats today, but Forrester came out with a study that said that in the B2B company, 73% of new annual revenue should come from our existing customers. But think about the amount of time and effort we put on new logo development. And nobody's saying that that's bad. Nobody's saying that. But the lack of effort that we put on beyond customer acquisition, but retention and expansion, right? And McKinsey actually did a study and they showed literally the same amount of effort. What's your return on customer retention versus your growth and return off of new logo development? And it was literally like this. I'm just trying to accentuate the important point because you answered the question first by how important voice of the customer is to customer retention. And I love that focus on there. But then you ended it with, but in terms of marketing and sales, the entire go-to-market strategy, it is the fuel that accelerates all of that. It's really, we kind of tend to focus on one, right? The go-to-market for new logo development and not as much on the customer development, right? And it leads to another really important part of our previous conversation is that, like, it's the power of the word no. And because defining our ICP, it is so tantalizing to bring in customers that are going to fulfill quota, right? And, we're going to go into the next board meeting. You're preparing for a board meeting right now. And somebody's going to say there, we're just going to start out with here's how this quarter's quota is going. They're going to say, well, what's next quarter look like? So the focus on the short-term development of revenue is so important that it's like the shiny object. And we tend to then want to bring in as much as we can. But we know if we bring in the wrong customers that don't meet our ICP, we won't serve them. We'll waste a lot of time and resources and product development that's kind of maybe skewing towards them that shouldn't. It's going to be a detriment. So tell me about how you guys think about the ICP and how that drives the go-to-market for you.
Oh my God, I'm getting too excited about this conversation because this is so important. Again, foundation stuff. How many times, I'm pretty sure there must be a good stats out there, but every time people spend way little time to understand who your ideal customer is, and then they go too broad to hunt anyone and everyone, not just in marketing and sales, but it's also true in try to build product for everyone rather than focusing on who is your 80% audience, who is your power user, who is your ICP. And once you apply that lens of ICP, it's an exercise which you should iterate a couple of times. It's not a one size you build in the beginning of the journey and that's your forever ICP. It evolves, but I highly, highly advocate building an ICP, focusing on ICP and use that ICP to prioritize. It kills so much of noise from your system and it gives you so much clarity on what product and features to focus on if you understand your ICP. It gives so much clarity in sales and marketing, which target opportunities should we go after. To your point, you can fill your quota by acquiring a worst customer in your portfolio, but then you have a recurring revenue issue if you're a subscription business, or you can focus on going too wide and you're having a CAC problem. You're getting customers, but your profitability is getting screwed because you did not realize that doesn't match your ICP. So understanding ICP should be core to any organization. Everyone in the organization should understand the ICP. And that should be an ongoing exercise. It should be part of your training, onboarding. Who your customers are, everyone should understand.